What's up, everybody? This is Trey coming back at you, and I have a really awesome segment I want to get started today, and that segment is going to be our album review segment. Yes, I said it right, album review segment. Now, what I'm most excited about is because I kind of did start out this channel trying to do some multifaceted things, and I've got some time off work. Why not go ahead and put some use to that empty time? So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do probably one of the most hailed thrash albums to ever come out of the thrash scene. Bay Area thrash scene, New Jersey thrash scene, anywhere. Probably one of the most hailed thrash albums, and that is Metallica's And Justice for All. As you can tell, I've even prepped with my awesome Metallica And Justice for All t-shirt. This is probably within my top 5 favorite metal albums of all time. I would say probably within my top 3. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, for those of you who don't know, this album was written with a lot of hate, a lot of anger, and a lot of just empty, upset feeling. This album was written after their second bassist, Cliff Burton, passed away. And any of you who want to say, no, Cliff was the original bassist, no, he was not. There was a bassist who started out first, and they got Cliff. Shut the fuck up. Just kidding. But anyways, so this was the first album that actually included the work of Jason Newsted, who has actually put out an amazing album called Heavy Metal. And go check that one out. Jason Newsted, an amazing talent, an amazing frontman, an amazing bass player. Please go check that out. But anyways, on to this album. Now, the best part about this album is that from right at the beginning, it's got a little soft beginning with Blackened, and then hits you out of nowhere with some face-melting guitar riffs, awesome drum beat, and it's all around. Blackened starting out the best, just one of the all-time greats in my opinion for intros to CDs. Now, then you get into And Justice for All, which kind of starts in a similar fashion. Starts out real slow, then hits heavy, then boom, it's like it moves your gut in a different way than their other albums did. It was just so angry, so raw, so real. So yeah, definitely an amazing album. Now, some of the other songs I definitely want to talk about on this album, before I get to one, because one is probably the definitive song on this album. One of my favorite songs off this album is To Live Is To Die. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone on short now, or silent, my bad. But To Live Is To Die. Now, this song was written for Cliff Burton, and it is mainly an instrumental. You can just hear the anger in the riffs. You can hear the sadness in the music. It does something to you that puts you in a mood that you're just like, holy shit, this is heavy, this is deep. Shortest Straw just hits you right out of the gate throughout the whole song. The lyrics, they're amazing. I mean, honestly, if you're any kind of fan of heavy metal music and you don't regard this album as a top 5 favorite, might want to rethink genres. But in all seriousness though, I can't really say that there's ever been a more influential album out there for anybody who ever got into guitar, for anybody who got into metal music. Anybody who knows metal knows this album. This album is going to get the coveted up to 11. And typically people want to scale things 1 through 10. Here's how I scale. You have 1 being just fucking kill yourself, till 10 being please just do not stop what you're doing, let's keep these albums rolling, this is amazing. Then 11, which means this album is legendary. Crank it up to 11. That's what they did. They cranked it up to 11. They let their expressions come out. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the most defining song on this album, which is One. Anybody who's ever seen One live, music video, just listen to it. It almost doesn't even matter because nothing else matters. Sorry, little Metallica pun there. But the deal is, when it comes down to it, one is one of the most amazing songs that has ever been written. It's so powerful. It's perfect. It exuberated and accentuated what Metallica was. So, And Justice for All gets an 11 in my book. It's an amazing album. If you don't have this album for whatever reason, please go buy it. Go check it out on iTunes. Whatever you do to get your music, get this album and start it, and do not skip a song. I can guarantee you, if you've never listened to this album, or if you are new to the metal community, this album will change your life. But in all regards, I would say that this album is like the kick-starting, like a lot of people want to say the greatest thrash album ever made was Rain and Blood by Slayer. That's a very high regarded album, and I'm not going to take any away from that album. To me, that album's also an 11. But this album right here just does something for me. So, my homework for you guys, if you've never heard this album, or for whatever reason you've never heard of Metallica, go grab this album, listen to it, and have a fucking blast. Crank that shit to 11, and I will see y'all back next week.